Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Exploring Our Secret Past. I'm joined with Carla tonight.
How you doing?
And tonight we got a special treat for y'all. We are, with the fact that it's almost New Year's Day, it's the last week of December 2022. So, Carla and I thought it would be a really nice send off to take a moment and reflect as to how our show progressed in 2022. Hello, Adam.
Hey, Adam. And to
So,
thank all our guests.
exactly. And because, to be honest, we wouldn't have this show without
The
our
guests.
fans and the guests. Because
Viewers.
I don't know about y'all, but I think y'all would get tired of hearing me talking all the time and Carla popping in every once in a while going, yeah, so we're fortunate to have guests that come in and share with us,
Yep.
and people in the chat group that pop in and chat with us. So we thank you all. And so, should we get to our presentation for this
Sure.
episode?
I think we're ready.
All right. And again, kudos to Carla. She does make these awesome slideshows for y'all.
Thank you.
Ugh.
Ashley.
And Broken Bow Asylum.
She was our first,
Oops.
very first guest.
Sorry, I'm trying to flip back to see the chat group and everything.
Multitasking. Yeah, so Ashley was our very first. She's got Broken Bow up in Oklahoma. Excellent place to investigate. Very
And she
active.
is a lot of fun to investigate
She
with.
is a lot of fun. You need to get back up there when it thaws out.
We do. So, what's your favorite memory of Broken Bow Asylum and favorite memory with Ashley?
I met Ashley obviously when my very first time up there. I also met Shannon for the first time at the same time that I met Ashley, and it was a tribute investigation to Kim Potter.
Yes,
That was a really memorable night.
that was actually that was a hard night for me because that was my first night back in paranormal investigating from February when it happened. I had stepped away and going to this investigation for Ken was like my way of showing up to pay tribute to him and his wife Eileen, and
it was a tribute. It was a tribute investigation, and
was.
Ashley did an excellent job of putting on a nice potluck and little bit of a fundraiser for them and stuff. It was great.
Yeah, and we were fortunate to have a lot of experiences that night.
I think that's when I met you and Tony.
It was
for the first time. My son had dropped me off. I thought he was going to investigate with me. I was all by myself. He dropped me off and went to the casino and said, "Go make friends."
Well,
and so I did, and we've been together ever since.
Yep. Little did he know what he was starting.
That's right.
Or
really,
maybe
it's all
he
his
did. Yeah. So for me, I would say my favorite Broken Bow Asylum memory with Ashley would be the very first time I was there, and I didn't really know anybody there, and I was just kind of standing there and being like, I don't know, what what to say, what to do, because I don't know how open and everything people
Yeah,
are.
I know
And
the feeling.
Ashley's sitting on the floor doing something with someone else, and all of a sudden this bone appears out of nowhere. It's a little prop bone and gets thrown behind me, and I'm frozen because I don't know if I want to turn around to hear what this noise was or what. And so, yeah, that was a great way to get introduced to the asylum, because that was actually the first time I ever experienced anything being thrown.
Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey,
It's a good
Chad
story.
and crew. Thanks for checking in. That's Ghost Geeks.
Yep.
All right. Should we see what the next slide is? If I
See
can.
what next.
Oh, it's
John John.
flipping on its own.
It shouldn't have.
Well, I'm not going to argue with it. The way my computer's been today, I am just thankful it's holding steady.
Yeah, it's a good thing we got a video. Slideshow, anyway. John John and Jordan.
So, this was actually done to help promote their Darkness event at Fort Walters,
Mm-hmm.
and was my first time to meet Jordan. And I gotta say, this episode, actually, I got to know John John and Jordan a lot more than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they held the didn't they do like a paranormal 101, the dark side type at Fort Walters?
They did.
Yeah. Good stuff.
It was. And it was cool to hear their experiences and stories of what got them into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew John John was a photographer, but I think that was the first I heard of him being a storm chaser, even.
I think I actually heard of him from storm chasing first before paranormal.
That's funny.
It's like, what do you do in
But
your spare time?
yeah, and I was amazed at the soul of Jordan and John John, and that if people need something, they stop what they're doing, help them out as much
Mhm.
as they can, and sometimes end up double booking, but they still try to fit both in and keep their word. And I mean, that's impressive in their its own
Mhm.
right. And I got to give kudos to them for that, because
Absolutely.
that will wear someone out real
Mhm.
quick if they're not.
They're definitely there to help out families and businesses, and that's kind of their first priority.
Yep, and they walk their walk. They don't sit there and say something and then turn around and do something else. They actually do what they say,
Mhm.
which is really cool.
And I believe, and maybe you could elaborate just a little bit, but when they were doing the little education program at Fort Walters, didn't they kind of go into the things to do and not to do, and things to look out for when you're dealing with dark stuff, dark
They
investigations?
did, and one of the two key things that I got was don't walk into a situation that you're not prepared for
Right.
and just think, oh, because I'm a paranormal investigator or I have these gifts, I can wing it and be all right. That there are things out there that are more intense and borderline dangerous, in my opinion,
Mhm.
that shouldn't be messed with.
They'll feed off
And
your fear.
the
They'll
other thing,
oh.
yeah, and the other thing was, if you are going to do this, to make sure you have people around you that know you and trust you, and you trust them to, if you start to not act like yourself, that they're going to pull you out
Mhm.
and get you outside, get you back in the right frame of mind.
Detached from everything that you just experienced.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is very, very important to have.
Yeah.
Even on a normal investigation, you never know what's there.
Mhm. Agree. Yeah. It's definitely would be a comfort, and to have that type of level of professionalism is excellent to have with you on investigations for sure.
Exactly. And, aw, look at Adam.
Oh, thank you.
What are you trying to get brownie points for, Adam? What'd you do? Just teasing.
Straighten my
No,
hair.
no. Carla does have nice hair.
Oh, thank you very much.
And she's got is that a nice sweater vest on? Or,
No, it's just a nice little warm pullover turtleneck.
oh, because
It's
it
like a
looked like you
it's like
had,
a turtleneck Henley. It's nice.
nice.
I like it.
I had a turtleneck on earlier,
Yeah,
but
it's still a little chilly.
yeah. And then what I found out is we're supposed to be like 37 tonight and 40s.
It's
And
gonna be
then
71 tomorrow.
there's, I think, reportedly another cold spell coming, but it's like days off. So we
Yeah.
get a nice little break. But yeah, welcome to Texas, where we were in the 20s this morning, and tomorrow we're going to be in the 70s.
That's right.
Gotta love Texas. And on that note, let's see if I can switch. If it's going to switch on me or what. Nope.
Page down. There you go. Your buddy,
Ah,
Mr. Andy.
Andy Booth, my mate in the UK.
Yep.
He was running, let's see if I can remember it, Codes of the Unknown, Cryptids, Paranormal, and the Unexplained, I think is what it was.
Uh-huh.
And now he runs the 12th Dimension, and he has his own YouTube channel now where he's going solo, and he still does do some teamwork shows with his co-host Deb. And fun fact, after Andy appeared on our episode, he was asked by our network if he would bring his show onto our network, and he agreed. And you can now see Andy on Fridays.
Perfect.
So look at that. Para Unity in
Ew.
its greatest form.
Bringing everyone together. And I see that you're sporting your shirt. Look at that.
Yep.
Parallax. Yep.
So I might get in trouble for this, but I was undecided if I should wear my YouTube shirt that my stepniece made me or this shirt. And so I asked my girlfriend, and she's like, the Paralink shirt. So I was like, all right. So here I am wearing the Paralink shirt.
Nice. I'll be wearing mine the first show of the year.
So just goes to show some guys do listen. But so Andy, the fun part about his show that I remember was his was the first one we had to where he was on the cell phone. It took us like half an hour to get his cell phone to talk so that we could talk to him.
That was funny. Oh my gosh.
And fun fact for people that they may not realize is our show airs at 9 o'clock Central Time, which equates in Andy's time to 3 in the morning. So he actually came in before the sun rose and was on our show
That's
and
dedication.
was in fun spirits coming off of a surgery. That's why he was able to do the show that day. Was he was laid up from a surgery that he had, and I don't think there was ever a time in the show where it really you could tell he did. He was always laughing,
Yep.
having fun.
Yeah. That's great that he's part of the network.
Yeah. And you can check him out on TikTok. I don't remember his TikTok. I don't even remember my TikTok. So
You pop up all the time.
yeah, you have a TikTok too, don't you?
I do not. I
Oh, I
mean,
thought you did.
I haven't produced one. Well, probably by the time I do it, they'll have it banned anyway. So.
Yeah. Although I will say the latest craze right now is, I think last time I saw it was doing the Wednesday dance from Wednesday on
Yeah,
Netflix.
that's Lady Gaga's initial dance.
Yeah. So, but talking about the Wednesday dance, though, it was
Do
interesting.
you know how to do it?
I don't know how to do it, but the actress that plays Wednesday, man, look at you knocking it out. She actually was upset with the way it filmed because she did more of the shuffling of the feet than what they showed. And she
Right.
said that was because if you watch the original Addams Family, Wednesday said, "Here's the new dance craze," and she was shuffling on her feet back and forth. And she was trying to pay homage to that and said that's why
They cut it out. Yeah.
the little bit they put in, she was like glad they put that in. And she actually choreographed that whole dance herself.
Right on.
They came to her and said, "You want to? You need? You're going to do this dance?" And she was like, "Okay." And she didn't actually have it figured out in her head until it was filming time, and then she just let loose.
Well, I know that they got it from Lady Gaga.
The song is Lady Gaga's, yeah.
But if you watched her video, her doing it, it's got a similar dance.
Well, I'm sure she took inspiration.
Oh, I'm sure.
All sorts.
It's a great song. I mean, that's all you see on TikTok now.
Yeah, I think her last name's Ortega.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, I haven't researched it, but I've been curious to see if she's related to the guy on the Disney Channel that does a lot of the choreographing, Ortega.
Oh, I don't know.
That might be an interesting twist.
Yeah.
But so enough sidetracking. Back to Andy. See what you do to us, Andy.
We ended up on TikTok somehow. Next.
So let's see what's next. Oh, another British.
Mr. Andrew Fisher.
I think you were actually out of town for this one.
That could have been.
You're like, I'm not going to confirm or deny that one.
That's right.
So
maybe not.
Andrew, I investigated Broken Bow with him, and he was running a podcast show, The Crazy Thoughts of a Brit and a Texan, which I had been on twice.
Mm-hmm.
And he's no longer doing that podcast, but he does have the Rejects Roundtable, which another tribute to our show, a little nod to us. The producers saw him and heard about it, and you can catch the Gypsy Soul Roundtable, the Rejects Roundtable, on our network Wednesday nights. So look at us bringing shows to the network.
Para unity makes you want to hold hands and sing "Kumbaya."
I wouldn't go that far. Maybe sit around a campfire and s'more it out.
There you go.
But so Andrew is a hoot to investigate with. Have you investigated with him?
At Broken Bow with you guys.
With his "You can't leave me in a room by myself."
Yep.
Or my other favorite is "I'm not don't lead and don't make me last. Keep me in the middle."
That's
But he does do great work with the K2. I
yeah.
will say I am impressed how he can operate that K2 and get responses.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, and look at that. He's wearing a Texas Scareground shirt.
He is.
Ooh, we'll get into that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. What else can we say about Andrew Fisher? Yeah, that is funny that his name is Andrew Fisher, but he likes to be called Andy. So when we had both of these scheduled, I was always in my head going Andy 1, Andy 2.
Right.
So I could keep track of which Andy I needed to talk to. Note for future self. No more same names close together.
Okay, what's next?
Let's see. What is next? Who was next? Do you remember?
Nope.
Catherine Sorlos. So, fun fact, she has actually been on the show twice now, isn't it?
Yes. Twice.
And so, the first episode she came in on was just her and I, and we were talking about an experience that I had in my childhood, and she was picking up more information about it, which was really cool. So I got a lot more information about it, and I have to say, not meeting Catherine, everything that she was saying, I was getting tingles like in my head, which meant I was resonating with. And so it's like, yes, she is the real deal. She has super talented, can pick up like no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I was grateful she came in back in November and you had a cool experience with her.
Yeah. I remember you kind of put her on the spot about, so tell us about Carla.
Oh, I didn't put her on the spot. I had mentioned that the first time she was on, you weren't there, and how she was picking up a lot of stuff on me. And so I thought it was be interesting to see what she'd pick up on you if you were, and you said, yeah, you can.
Yeah. But she
And
was having, I noticed that she said that she felt blocked.
well, I kind of feel like we all put up blocks when people try to read us because we don't know what they're gonna read or not read, and
Oh, she
it's
wouldn't
like,
have said anything that would have been like, well, we have to end the show now.
no, I'm not meaning like
She was
that.
a
I
lot.
just
She was,
mean
yeah,
there are some things in our past that we like to keep guarded, and
yeah, yeah. I think that's what she meant by blocked
yeah,
past. But that's
but
okay. I mean, she was a lot of fun to talk to.
oh, she was. And you want to update everyone on what you found out from that picture that you
From
were
what
talking with her
picture?
about? The picture you found?
Oh, of the little girl.
Right.
Um,
You're hilarious, Chad. No, I was laughing because Chad put in, and now we are canceled. Lots of laughs.
yeah, it was the words, the wrong words. Yeah, I had uh, found a photograph of a little girl when I was out in another town doing some investigation and stuff, and I ran across a very, very old photograph and kind of stopped me in my tracks because it was of a little girl, and the little girl to me looked like me as a little girl. So I was showing Catherine the photograph during the reading, and she, her eyes got really big, and she's like, "That's." Didn't she say something like that's either your grandmother?
Yeah, it was you were
A
a relation
relative.
to you.
Yeah. But it was just one of those where there was a reason why I found it and have been, trying to figure out who this little child is all this time. So,
And to be honest, folks, she showed me the picture and didn't say anything about it and said, "Here, look at this photo." And I was like, "That's a really cute photo of you." And she laughed and said, "That's not me." And I did not know Carla as a child, just to
right.
set the record even more straight.
But then when I put my picture as a child next to that child, it was even more startling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Robert. Or
Hey.
some people may know him more as Hillbilly in Fort Walters territory. So yeah, and weren't you saying that after that reading that you found out some more information about the little girl, or am I like off in La La Land again?
That was from Phoenix.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But Catherine, too, also, both times she joined us, it was 3 a.m. for her, I think.
Actually, so in November, Catherine's show was at 10 o'clock our time,
Yeah,
so
we,
it would
we
be
pushed it out.
7 a.m. her time.
Yeah. It was still very, very early,
Yeah,
early for her.
she got up super early,
Yeah.
and she started the trend that Carla picked up of showing off your Christmas decor in the background.
Yeah. Hold up the laptop. See?
No, but she is a real sweetheart of a lady, and she does a lot to help the children out with
Mhm.
gifts, which I have to commend and say, that is something I kind of wish existed when we were growing up, because I have a feeling a lot of the kids that are, I don't want to say being drugged up and uh, put on into like special programs to help mellow them and everything. It may not be that they were hyper or what they were. It could have been they just needed help with their spiritual gift.
Mm-hmm.
And so I commend Catherine that she's taken that mantle and is not only doing it with her family, but she does it with other children. I think they call them paranormal juniors. Isn't that it?
I think so. It was just really impressive that she helps kids understand their gifts and helps them know how to control things and put boundaries up and help them understand stuff. I mean, when you think about when children have or see things or experience other children or other spirits or what have you, it just makes you reflect back on all the times in your youth where you've always heard about kids that had, you know, their little friend at their tea party or something like that. They had,
Right.
you know, and then it's just like now that you know that if you've been in the paranormal field for a while, it just makes you wonder were they really friends or were they actually experiencing someone?
Well, they could still be friends,
Oh, well,
but
you know what I mean.
yeah, it's to put it in a easier way to
Like
understand
make
is was it an imaginary friend or was
right.
it a
Yeah,
spirit friend?
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree because as I was talking with Catherine, and we're going to be on her show next year, which is Greek TV. And so the really cool thing with being on her show, and you might be on her show as well on your own. I think she's wanting to interview you too on your own, but she'll give you the English version and then she translates the whole thing into Greek. And so it'll air on her show. And so it's really cool I'm still excited to go back and watch my portion
In
in
Greek.
Greek to see how does it sound in Greek? Like,
Yeah,
is the
right.
long story really short now, or is it going to be even longer?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to listen to for sure.
So Chad said Leslie had a friend growing up. Aw, that's so nice. Everybody needs a friend growing up.
Michael.
No, I'm
Oh,
serious. Having friends on both sides, the paranormal and ours, and in physical form is a really cool thing to have.
mhm.
Ooh, we got a story here. Chad says our daughter had an issue when she was 6 with talking at night to random people. She always said they wouldn't let her go to bed.
Mm,
So I will say from experience when I started becoming a channeler, and I think my mom, when she did the same thing, you have to set boundaries up with them because they will talk to you all hours. They
mhm.
don't have the concept of night, day, sleep time, awake time, drive time, sleep time, or eating time. It's like whenever they want to talk, they'll talk.
Were you able to sit down and help your daughter with some boundaries?
Or did you give her the confidence, Chad, to stand up and say, look, I need to sleep, so you guys got to let me sleep?
Very good.
Awesome.
Yay.
So Chad of Ghost Geeks, he is a really cool friend of ours, and
Mhm.
always love investigating with him. And if you ever get the chance to go on an investigation with the Ghost Geeks, I highly recommend it.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, that's an important thing you pointed out there, Chad, is you have to stand up for your space and your power,
Mhm.
so to speak. When you say you can't be here, you got to stand up and mean it, and they have to abide by that.
Mhm. Click on his next. Yeah. Yeah. There might come a
Oh,
time where she gets interested.
yeah. I mean, being around you, I'm sure she'll come around because yeah, you guys are always on cool things.
Ouch.
You don't have to hurt yourself to
I just
say
racked
anything.
I just racked my knee on the desk.
Oh, I hate that.
Uh, eyes are watering.
He says she still gets overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's an important thing to realize because there are times I get overwhelmed too and have to step out, and times I'll get overwhelmed and I feel like I need to push through because I feel like people are watching me. Going, if he can't do this, and maybe I shouldn't, and so I put unexpected pressure on me sometimes, and it'll backfire as always. But you got to listen to your body and
Yeah.
your spirit. If it says not to, don't push it.
Agree. Who's next?
That's a really good question.
Drum roll.
Oh yes,
Connie and Dan. That's such a great place to investigate. I'm telling you, they are excellent hosts.
they are, and it's one of the few places I know that in paranormal teams or large groups can get together and experience overnight, stuff. Because normally investigations end around 2, 3 in the morning. Everybody goes home or goes somewhere to a hotel or something. But here you actually stay in the hotel if you get the rooms with the investigation,
Mhm.
and so you don't ever get to disconnect, and you get those so-called witching hour
Mhm.
spiritual experiences or paranormal experiences.
There
And
hasn't been one time I've been there that there hasn't been activity. It's always a steady stream. It might be different each time, like completely different, like you're
yeah,
encountering different people, but there's always something.
yeah, you
Never
can get an
disappoints.
EVP on one, an orb on another, and
Yep.
so Chad says it's so consistent too. That's why we love it.
Yep.
That's why we love it too.
That's why we keep going back.
And Adam is chiming in and says, I want to go back there.
We will.
Absolutely.
We will.
And the cool thing about Connie and Dan is they had paranormal background, and Dan went to the hotel, and when it was a furniture shop, I believe it was, or antique store,
Mhm.
fell in love with the place, had a paranormal experience there, not even investigating, just there to meet the owners and set. I think he was even there to set up an investigation, is what he was there for.
Mhm.
Had an experience and ended up buying the hotel.
He's had a lot of experiences there. I mean, both of them have said that a lot of activity happens once people walk out the door, like early in the morning.
Right?
when it calms down a little bit. But they both still get. They've said that they both still get, the chills, and makes you a little nervous staying there by yourself.
Yeah. And so the really cool thing too is Dan has a deal now with the local law enforcement and the
Mhm.
judges that you actually get to investigate the old Runnels County Jail, which is right across the street. If you go a little bit extra on the investigation fee, which,
Package deal.
yeah, and the nice thing about it is they don't charge a lot to add the jail,
Hmm.
but the money that you spend to add the jail doesn't go into the hotel. It actually goes towards the upkeep of the jail. So
Yeah,
it's like
it's a good
a
deal.
win-win because the money you pay for the investigation goes to the hotel, the money for the jail goes to the jail. They don't mix. They
Hmm.
keep everything separate, so that's really cool for them. And Chad says, I was there by myself last Wednesday when Dan went to get the guys from the airport. It was crazy.
Uh, by yourself.
You're
I
a
don't know.
brave lad.
I don't know.
I don't know many people who would stay there all by themselves.
Right. Yeah. We'll definitely
But,
have to go
and
back
funny,
there.
and Connie is so funny. So, Connie and I were talking on Facebook a lot before I first met her, and we were like minded and having a lot of great conversations. And I had told her I was coming up the to the hotel, and she was all excited. And I walk in the door, and I'm sitting there talking to her, and I don't, you know me, I don't mention my name right off the bat. I figure everybody knows me from Facebook or other investigations. So I'm
Yeah.
sitting there just talking. And one of my fellow teammates at the time goes, "Oh, Michael, you're here." And Connie stops, gets big eyed. She goes, "Wait, you're Michael?" And I said, "Yeah, that's I'm Michael." And she goes, "Oh my god!" and got really excited and came up and gave me a really big hug.
She's
And
so
she goes,
sweet.
"Yeah." She goes to everybody that was there that were with her and goes, "Oh, y'all gotta go meet him. He's my Facebook buddy." But they are two of the sweetest people.
Mhm.
And Chad says filming B-roll got terrifying. So I gotta ask Chad, how many times did you leave the hotel screaming on filming that B-roll, or were you able to stand your ground in there? Oh, Chrissy's in the house.
Hey, Chrissy.
So for those of you who don't know, Chrissy is one of the admins for the network, and if I remember right, you'll have to correct me, Chrissy. You are part of the Petri dish.
Mhm.
You are a part of the something of like Spooky Gals or something. Boo Girls. I think it's Boo Girls. And I think you have another show. But so Chrissy's saying, listen, hello, y'all. So that is her trademark line. She always, when you start ruffling her feathers, will go, listen. So we like to tease her about that. And Chad says, none. But I went back to the front after I thought someone fell down the front stairs.
Yeah, it was
Oh, that had to be a terrifying sound.
uh-uh.
to think you're all by yourself and somebody came falling down the stairs. That I don't know if I would stay in the building after that happened.
Yeah, I'd be done.
So Chrissy says, I am part of Swamp Talk. Hey Boo, there it is. The Listen Queens and Unholy Trinity. Oh, she's a co-owner of the network. I apologize,
Look at
Chrissy.
you, Chrissy. Go, girl.
So Chrissy, see, I'm doing my part. Loving the swag. And so another thing that we can say is with since Chrissy's on, not only can you catch her on the networks, but coming on, let me look so I don't misquote this because I don't want the network getting mad at me. But October, I didn't put it in my calendar. I'm hoping I have it on my phone. But October,
Of 2023.
I'm almost there, almost there. 20th, 21st, and 22nd, we are going to be as a network in New Orleans doing the New Orleans Beer Fest 2023. You can check out Chrissy and Carla and I and a lot of other hosts and owners of the network. See, Chrissy, I got the dates in before I saw your note. So we are totally excited to come and meet the fans of the shows and fans of the network. And I'll be, I'm slated to guest speak. I don't know. I have to still work that out with Steven if my topic's cool or not with what they're going for. But definitely agree.
The only investigations that'll earn you beads.
There you go. And maybe we can throw in a little late Mardi Gras fun.
There you go.
Paranormal style, not
Yeah.
the February style, because yeah, not sure we want to go there. All right, so who's next? Ooh,
Zoe and John.
so fun fact: I like to track viewership of episodes just to see what everybody is getting interested in. And within a week, our episode with the Paranormal Patrol or the Patrol Room Paranormal Investigation Group, oh my gosh, it was almost 200 views.
Nice.
They just shot it off.
Yay.
So kudos to them. Yep. Zoe and John are police officers who go and do paranormal investigations. And yep.
They have a team of police officers that investigate. It's very interesting. You'll have to look up the episode and listen to the interview. It's fascinating because they discuss paranormal investigations from the standpoint of a police officer and their investigation techniques, and it's very, very interesting.
Yep, and one of the things I have to say about Zoe and John that I loved meeting them and hearing from them is police officers aren't allowed to discuss paranormal. It's kind of still hush hush.
Taboo.
Because they don't want to lose their jobs.
They can't even document.
And yes, Adam, it is really cool that they are officers and do the paranormal.
Yeah.
But I think it's even more cool is they have a Facebook group, Paranormal, the Patrol Room Paranormal of DFW, I think they call it. And it's for cops. And it was funny how I met Zoe because she messaged me and was like, "Do you want to be a part of our group?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm not a cop." And she's like, "It's all right."
Yeah.
And so I got in, and they help, you know, promote our stuff, and we help,
Yeah.
them with theirs. And
Yeah.
it
That'd be
is the
nice
same.
to, because I know that they said that they want to investigate together. So I think it'd be fun to go.
It will be. And hi, Joshua. But what I want to say about them that I think is above and beyond is they created the Facebook group so that officers around Texas or
Yeah.
wherever that finds them have a safe place where they can come in and say, "Oh my God, I just had this experience," and let it out, talk about it, and don't have to worry about, "Oh my God, someone's going to report me or
Right.
put my job at risk." That they all take a code of what's said in the group stays in the group and supports each other. So
Yeah.
I think that is truly commendable.
Uh-huh.
And I look forward to Zoe and John returning to
Yeah.
our show. I've been talking with Zoe and John about stuff coming up. So you'll have to stay tuned to 2023 to see what is in the works for going on with them, with our show and stuff that we're going on. And there's some stuff going on that I even told Carla about yet that I'm working on with them. So
Doesn't
everyone's going to
surprise
be
me.
surprised, but definitely going to want to stick around and see what fun stuff we got cooking up. And so oh, we fast forwarded.
Speak of the devil. The Scare Grounds.
Yep.
Fort Walters. Mineral Wells.
So fun fact was, um, Shane and Shauna couldn't actually make this episode because Shauna had just gotten a new job and got called out on an emergency, which, life happens. So we took upon ourselves and shared about Texas Scaregrounds and the haunt. And we actually made a deal with Shauna's consent that if you took screenshots from the show, you got a discount at the ticket office. Well, this happened in the beginning of the month of October, and we felt like, oh man, I was nervous that we didn't do enough justice for promoting them, and that it would have been even more fun if we could have had them on. But I found out just before we closed the doors in October, I think it was 5 people actually took screenshots of our show and showed them to the ticket office. So I was so excited and felt so proud that people actually watched our show, listened, took us up on the deal, and actually followed through with it. So
Yeah.
I was like, that just made my night because, yeah, it was one of those last minutes where we had to hurry up and figure out how can we promote Fort Walters so it would be like the owners weren't missing or the caretakers.
That's a great place to go.
It is, and it's a great place. Carla and I are both volunteer actors for Texas Caregrounds,
It's a lot
and
of fun.
we go and actually investigate there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's one of those rare places that has a haunted house in a haunted building at a haunted location. It's like So much fun.
Mm-hmm. I agree, Adam. Wish you were closer.
I know, Adam. Miss hanging out with you and investigating. Oh,
Phoenix.
so what to say about Phoenix? Just kidding.
She is an amazing woman.
She is.
She's uh she's so positive and so gifted. It's a blessing for her.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Dixon says, "Knew I loved you both. I used to act too." Aw, thank you, Joshua. We love our fans too.
Yep.
But yeah, Phoenix is one of those that I can't say I've had a reading by her, but I've investigated with her and I have spent time out of investigation with her.
Uh-huh.
And I will say I can pick up on energy of people, and she is one of those that I'm like, I'll just kind of mosey over to hang out with.
Yeah.
It's like you can feel drawn to.
She's got a good soul.
She does. And she's one of those that won't ask a lot, and she is always there for everyone. And so it's really cool when I get chances and opportunities to
Mm-hmm.
turn around and, reciprocate. And a fun fact is Phoenix is actually on the tribe with Carla and I
Mm-hmm.
that's based out of Fort Walters. And we actually have an investigation that we gave away last week's episode on the 28th of January that you get to investigate with Carla and I and Stephen Woodard and
Catherine
Catherine.
German.
Okay, I knew there was another word in there, but I didn't want to mess up her name. But so Catherine and Stephen both won the opportunity to investigate with us. And as a special treat to them, Phoenix has actually agreed to come on the investigation with us.
It's going to be a lot of
So
fun.
not only do you get the joy of investigating with Carla and I, which I know is what everybody was really rooting for, but we like to investigate with our friends too. And so you get the opportunity to meet and hang out with some of our guests and our friends. So it's like a win win.
Yep. Yep.
And Phoenix actually is having a show coming on our network too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
She
another
is.
one.
Yeah.
So Paralinks joined with Parapost shortly before these episodes. And Adam, this was a special small investigation. That's why we haven't advertised it publicly much,
It
except
was
on the show.
it was for the giveaway, Christmas giveaway.
So, but needless to say, we are always willing to go investigate there. So if you want to come up and investigate, say February, March,
May.
April, May, whenever, just let us know. We'll happily, investigate with you, Adam. We're there for you. Broadcast it. This sounds like so much fun. Love Stephen Woodard.
Mhm.
Well, normally we would broadcast it, Joshua, but because this was a giveaway special deal, we're not advertising it because we're limited on who can come, how many people,
Yeah.
and so we're already actually maxed out. So that's why we're not posting it anywhere so people can't join in,
Yeah.
but
It was
uh,
primarily for the winners of the giveaway to get to experience Fort Walters and investigate with us and stuff. So it's not an open investigation.
Carla's got a fan.
Aw, thank you.
She is. I will tell you, Joshua, the way she is on screen is how she is in person.
Oh,
She is a true
a
delight.
little crazy. That's
We're all a little crazy. We're paranormal investigators.
right. There's really not much left.
You gotta be crazy to do what we do. So in Phoenix, we actually got to hang out with her in, oops, Jefferson at the History Haunts and Legends in November. That
Yes,
was a lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun. I know that her and I deviated from the crowd for a few hours so we could go antique shopping, but we had a
Uh huh.
blast. That's
You went and got goodies without us. I see how it is.
true. We did.
And
Next.
then we had Michelle Gray come on,
Yep.
and Michelle was a treat to have on the show because she's what does work with Hood Paranormal, and she is a talented. I'm not sure how to describe her because she's not exactly medium, but she's not exactly not a medium. She's like some kind
Yeah.
of hybrid medium.
Yeah. If there's such a thing, that would be a good one. That would be a good name. Yeah.
Yeah, and the really fun thing about her is when we were on our third episode, she had commented to me as I was getting to know her, you know, by approaching us as being a huge fan of the show. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool to be, third episode into a brand new show and you got a fan base forming. But little did we know, hello, Anthony,
Hey, Anthony.
that when she told us the stories of her experiences, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that is really cool. And I actually have an interview with her and Andy in March. And I'm getting Andy to help promote her in the UK and see if she can't get more exposure. And so that's what we kind of like to do on with our show is, all our guests that we have. I mean, a lot of shows you may see where guests come on and then leave, and that's that. But Carla and I actually try to build rapport and like friendships and
Mhm.
help support and promote all our guests in different ways as much as we can. And
Mhm.
we actually get that in return. And
Yep.
so it's a really cool, symbiotic, fun relationship that we have.
Para-unity.
Para unity at its finest.
Yep. Who have we got
And
next?
we have, oh, one
Aaron,
of our
the
winners.
winner of one of the investigations of the Christmas one.
Actually, if memory serves right, didn't she win?
She won the tickets to Jefferson too.
Yeah, she won actually one and a half of the giveaways.
Yep. She
So
was she was pretty dang quick with the responses.
it was a real treat to have her on the show
Yeah.
and her experiences in Jefferson. And
Yeah. The
I actually got to meet her in December when we investigated Miss Molly's
mhm.
and love investigating with her. And I can't wait to investigate
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah.
And
The Jefferson trip was her very first investigation with the team.
which is really cool because
Mm-hmm.
I missed that investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Forget why I missed it.
Florida.
Oh, I was on another adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and so just spending time with them, it's like so much fun meeting her and her husband who's not into the paranormal, and that's common,
Mm-hmm.
but it's cool that he supports it and he came out to see what it was like, and I got to give him credit for dipping his toe in. Maybe not like the rest of us who, when someone says, "Did you dip your toe?" and we're like, "No, we kind of just jumped in."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Probably
Catherine.
would have been better to dip a toe in, but eh, to each their own on their ways in. But yeah, and she has her own YouTube channel,
Yeah,
Crazy Catherine, if I remember
easy,
right.
crazy cat.
Crazy Cat.
Yeah, she is probably one of the top most positive, hyper people I've ever met. She's just a delight to hang out with, and she just draws you in. But she is so much fun to investigate with, and
And
she said that she learned from watching us on the techniques and what to do, what not to do, and she was our
aw,
video person, and we learned things from her, on the
and
investigation, and so it was a perfect match to have her come along, and now she's going to be joining us on a lot more investigations. So pretty
yeah,
excited for that.
and I'm gonna beat Adam to the punch on this one. You just gotta, watch your electrical devices around her because
Yeah,
seems to have a flair for electricity, or maybe it's electricity has a flair for her. I don't know.
yeah,
So Joshua is saying it's very common for a partner, or roommate, or friend to want nothing to do with paranormal, but if they support you, you struck gold.
yeah,
Exactly.
yep. That's a
I
fact.
will say that hasn't been my experience, but like you said, if they support you, you struck gold. My experiences wasn't being supported, so I am very blessed right now to be in a relationship with a paranormal investigator. So that makes it even more fun because both of us now start to play off each other, and she teaches me stuff and I teach her stuff, and it's really cool. And Carla is in the same boat as Catherine, where she's supported, but I honestly, I'm sorry to say, I don't see your partner jumping in to try any of this anytime soon. I could be wrong, Carla, but I just don't. I don't get that feeling. I
Who's
will.
next?
I understand that, Adam. Thank you for sharing and checking
Have
us
a good
out.
night, Adam. Thank you for watching.
Yep. Have a great night. Let's see. Next after Catherine, if I can get my mouse to cooperate, Nikki Cameron. So this was while you were visiting your dad, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And so Nikki is a really cool friend that we met through the network, and she's out of Australia, Perth actually, and she is gifted and is got a really cool connection with spirit. She does artwork, And yeah, you'll have to excuse me. I need some water. And she is a huge supporter of the paranormal. She hasn't gone on a paranormal investigation yet, but she watches all the paranormal shows, the podcasts, contributes, shares her experiences. So she's a real sweetheart. She's a mom to an awesome little one. And I got to give kudos to all the families that are out there who are partly in the paranormal or totally in the paranormal. Kudos to that. Yes, Joshua, she is delightful. And she's a fun guest to have. So if you ever get the opportunity, you should try and, if you have a podcast, you should try and get her on. Just be a what of advice. She is way, she's the next day virtually because of being on Australia. I believe 9 p.m. our time is 10 a.m. her time the next day. So we like to tease her that she lives in the future. All right, our next episode.
Brandon
Ah,
Lee.
Brandon Lee. Now, this one, I gotta say, whoops, I'm on the wrong screen. I was like, where'd everybody go? So, Brandon was very kind to come on our show because our original guest that was slated got sick and couldn't make it on the show. And so, um, Joshua, this isn't Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. This is Brandon Lee Stevens, actually. So he is very much alive, as his, I think his girlfriend or fiance Hillary will attest to. But he is, no worries, Joshua. I knew what you were talking about. I got your back. But he investigates with his dad, and they are famous around Jefferson and all over for research and investigation of the paranormal, and have equipment that they got from the owner of Jefferson Hotel that they investigate with. And it was really cool to hear his experiences and to hear their approach to the paranormal.
Mm-hmm. They do a lot of fundraising too.
That's right. He does do an event for veterans, which is really super cool.
Veterans and Second Chance Farms for pets, for dogs out of Granbury. Mm-hmm.
So, really cool soul,
Yeah.
really cool group. And we are actually working on doing investigations with them as well.
Yeah.
So, and in 2023, we'll actually have his dad as a guest on our show.
Yeah.
So,
Get the whole family in here.
yeah. So, let's see what's next. Oh, what is next? What's on the other side? So,
This is the big drum roll reveal.
I know. Oh, and the computer just jumped for me. I think I need to get off the screen. I think it's jumping because I'm still on the screen.
Yeah. Quit touching stuff.
No, I didn't actually touch anything. It just goes. I think it's thinking I'm watching it like a preview.
So we are introducing ourselves in 2023 now as the energy that surrounds us. This will be our new name,
That's
our
right,
new
folks.
logo.
We are rebranding our show. New name, somewhat new format,
Yep. New format,
and new show.
new topics. New activities.
So, those of you that have supported us through our adventures exploring our secret past,
Mm-hmm.
we look forward to you joining us in 2023 as fans of the energy that surrounds us.
Yay.
And we have some super cool treats
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to be doing. Well, you know what? Since this is our reveal show, I say what better way to say goodbye to exploring our secret past than, I say we tell them some of what we got planned.
Okay. I mean, we're already 16 after.
Well, we did promise some
We don't
reveals.
want
So.
to reveal too much.
So, one of the things we'll be doing is we're going to be interviewing guests that may not be just paranormal, they may be in other fields like ufology or other topics of the paranormal. So, we're kind of branching ourselves out there, and we have some big name teams that we're going to be interviewing. Ghost Geeks is going to be one of our guests on our show. So look forward to that. And we have a super cool premiere set up for you guys. So next week, we're actually going to hit the grounds running with the energy that surrounds us.
Mm-hmm.
And a really cool thing that I discovered is Carla knows me enough to know I like to do acronyms sometimes because their titles are so long. So I started calling this Tetsu. And when I looked it up, it's the Japanese word for iron, which I thought was really cool. So I'm really excited to see what this show is going to bring forth from us to you all. We're going to have a lot more topic oriented episodes coming your way. So you won't want to miss that. And Joshua, um, keep in touch with us because we don't have an open mic night scheduled yet. But we'd love to have you on, or maybe, we might create one.
Never
You
know.
never know.
It's a whole new year.
It's a
Going
whole
to
new
be all
year,
kinds
whole
of.
new show.
There'll be all new firsts for us next year.
The only thing that'll be original about the show next year will just be Carla and I being Carla and I.
It'll be us.
Everything else will be all brand spanking new.
Yep.
So I'm with you, Chad. Looking forward to a great year. We
Yep.
hope everybody comes and, like I said, supports us, still, finds us, doesn't look for us under our old name. And
We'll get it out there. We'll do some PR work.
I hope you all love our new show format and new show ideas that we're going to be bringing. Some of them we're going to be bringing towards the summer, some summer fun to break up the heat of Texas. So
hopefully be able to bring on some investigations possibly, or at least record them and bring them on.
Yep.
All kinds of good stuff in the works.
So with a sad heart, I say goodbye to
the
exploring
old
our secret past,
and in with the new.
But super excited to start out the new year with the new show.
Yep.
So good night, everyone, for the last
Good night.
time from exploring our secret past. It was a wonderful year. We truly thank you all
Yep.
for allowing us to do this show and be a part of your year. So
all
how
right,
should we send out?
Huh?
How should we do a send out?
I don't know. Tell everybody, just wish everybody a happy new year. And we'll see you next Tuesday. as the energy that surrounds us.
Sounds perfect to me. I can't top that, so I'm just going to go ditto to what she said.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Stay safe and happy hunting.